I don't usually pull this card, and nor do I want to, nor do I like to. But I consider myself your best friend, and I hope you feel the same way. So I feel like I am owed the truth. Are you going to be leaving town with Charlotte for good? Am I never going to see you again? Can I ask you where you would get such a belief from? Like an idea from? Out of all the things. Well, we've all seen you withdraw. We know how afraid you are to be living here, and Brian's developed some paranoia, and we've all been talking. So is it true? Right now, Victor, I don't know whether I'm coming or going. I don't know what tomorrow holds, and I'm just living minute by minute right now. Literally. The non-straight answer. I will be very upset to lose my friend this way. I will miss you. Many people will miss you. Victor, I'm sorry if I'm not giving you the answer that you want, but I don't owe anyone any answers. Every second of every day, I try not to cry over Junior. I am holding myself together with Scotch tape. This town was supposed to be my safe haven, a new paradise where everything would be in my favor, and I got duped. This would never have happened if I stayed in New York. This town has let me down. It's been a disappointment. It has ruined me. I know, and you're right. This town turned out to be everything that you wished it hadn't been. If I could have warned you about Brian's family, I would have. If I could have warned you about the fact that everyone would move here and follow you here. If I was a psychic, I'd help you, but I'm not. But I must say, if you're going to take Charlotte away from Brian, don't you think that's a little unfair? It's very hard for me to have like a truckload of sympathy when Brian left for the military and he walked out on his daughter. We can't forget that. If he had stayed with me the entire time and been devoted to Charlotte, but anyone that can leave their child, I have never left, minus this period of time where I've been grieving, but I have never turned my back on my children for anything. When you say that, Miranda, when you talk about him leaving for the military, do you actually believe that and still feel anger towards it, or are you just repeating what your fans say? Victor, when I think about the scenario you're giving me about leaving town with Charlotte and hurting Brian, I can't give you any excuse. I can't say, well, I feel bad. I just care about protecting Charlotte. That's all I care. I don't care about anyone else in this situation. I'm sorry. It is fight or flight, and I'm fighting. I want to survive with my daughter. I want my daughter to survive. I'm being selfish. If it's hurtful, it's hurtful. Well, if you can't find a valid excuse in taking Charlotte away from her father, and you feel like it is the wrong thing to do, then why not work towards a solution here? There's got to be one. More security, something. Charlotte was kidnapped from my arms. I'm not letting anything happen to her ever again. I will die first before that happens. I still blame myself for what happened to Junior. Don't blame yourself for Junior. I do, Victor. I do blame me. I have a lot of guilt. And at least I can control that. At least I'm able to punish myself. Because the police can't find the real killer. We all have our hunches, but what can you do about a hunch? What I can control is how hard I work to protect my daughter, and how selfish I am to make sure that she sees it to her high school graduation. I want her to visit me in the cemetery. That's my life goal. I want her to have wrinkles on her face when she comes to visit me. And she can tell me all about her husband or wife and her children and her job, how much she loves her career, and how... That's what I want. You know, Brian loves his daughter tremendously. And no matter where you go, no matter where Nanny Agatha hides you, I do feel like this man will search every inch of the earth to find his daughter. Well then, hypothetically, and we're talking in hypotheticals, Victor, as your friend, that is what we're talking in. Hypothetically, I do run off with Charlotte, and I hide, and I'm hidden, no one can find me, and I'm off the radar, and he goes to court or whatever, and let's say that fails, and let's say he does turn over every stone, and he searches everywhere in the world, and he finds her. Then I will know that he truly loves his daughter. Then I will feel like he's worthy enough to be in her life. But right now, I don't trust anyone with my children. No one, not even her own father. And I'm sorry, I don't have any shame in that. I don't. I gave up my job. I've given up everything for Charlotte now. And hell, I'm gonna make it work. Someone has to want it more than me. That's a good way to look at it. You'll see how much he loves his daughter, but you also have to worry about the fact that maybe he won't even give you Charlotte back. Like I said, Victor, everything is literally minute by minute. But I can assure you of one thing. Brian may have Charlotte right now, and I'm glad he bonded with her, and I'm glad that he had a great time while I was grieving, and he felt like a dad. At least in my darkness, maybe he found his identity as a father, and he found his confidence. Great. But there is no one that is going to stop me from having my daughter back in my arms. That I may be grieving, I may be going through hell, but she's my baby. And I am not going to let the world take another one of my babies from me. I would have to leave the world first. That is the only way. So yeah, minute by minute,